Hi, friends. Welcome to newsletter number 6. Happy Easter. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. It is a long weekend wherever you are around the world. I hope you're happy and healthy and safe. This is an exciting newsletter for you. So in this newsletter, 3 things to expect. Number one, I'm going to show you the cover, the final cover in all its glorious form. Something's different on the cover from our last newsletter, and that is number two, I'm announcing who penned the foreword. And then number 3, you're going to see a few of the sketch notes that are, special to this book, created by the very talented and good friend Rebecca Bathurst Hunt. So if you're keen to see these 3 things, watch this newsletter. Very exciting newsletter. We are a month away. In a month, the book is going to be available. So I'm going to be kind of ramping up. Naturally, my excitement is ramping up, but I'll be ramping up the correspondence here, not just on my newsletter with you friends, but also on my social media spaces. So, I'm very excited to ramp up the release, the launch, but this one has been intimately ours up until this month, where I'm going to start to invite more people on social media to engage with the release of this book. So my sincere thanks, my continued thanks to you for your support, your kind replies to my emails, the ongoing conversations many of us have had via the email, the newsletters, just the replies going back and forth. You bring a lot of wind to my sails in releasing this book. So thank you so much. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to do the book cover, final book cover release, reveal, the foreword contributor release, reveal, and I'm going to talk you through a few of the sketch notes. How exciting is this? Let's do it. So as I announced in the previous email, this new book, Inquiry Mindset Assessment Edition, is now going to be the 3rd in a series of Inquiry Mindset books. I plan to publish more under that banner and even invite other authors who are inquiry practitioners who would like to write a book to perhaps author under this series. So very excited for that. The ongoing continuing conversation with authors and educators and inquirers around the world. So that's kind of where we're headed. These are my 2 publications currently, Dive into Inquiry and Inquiry Mindset. And without further ado, here is the final cover proof, and as well, who penned the foreword, all in one. Here we go. So exciting. There it is. Wow. And so right away, I just like to share my deepest thanks to Ron Richart for penning the foreword to Inquiry Mindset Assessment Edition. As I was writing this book, Ron's work, his body of work, his thinking, our collaborations continued to surface for me, came to mind. And, when it came time to ask someone to write the foreword, which is a big ask, isn't it? To ask someone to proof your work and hope that they value your work and hope that they want to lend their name to your work. It's a really big ask. And so I was very thankful that Ron not only agreed, but that he's penned such a compelling opening to this book. I'm often asked, do people even read the forewords to books? And I do. I invite you to. And what's really nice is how Ron creates kind of a bird's eye view of the landscape of assessment for us, and really invites us in to be reflective of our assessment practice as the foundation for the rest of the book. So Ron, if you see this, my deepest thanks. And friends, I'm so excited to share with you this final cover. We've been holding off on announcing the foreword contributor until the foreword was submitted, because you never know what could happen in the process of getting a book completed. And so as soon as Ron submitted that foreword, we finalized the cover. And there it is in all of its glory. One thing that stood out for me is not just how beautiful the green is, and how it is spring currently, and it's just such a great color for change, for growth, and for the change of seasons. But one thing that stood out for me is the size of the book. It's definitely, as I've mentioned in previous newsletters, my most robust offering. Definitely a little larger than Inquiry Mindset, nurturing the dreams, wonders, and curiosities of our youngest learners. And I'm very excited to see this book come to. So just want to share that with you. As you can tell, I'm really excited and grateful, and I can't wait to see this book out in May. I'd like to share with you some of the sketch notes now, and specifically 4 sketch notes that Rebecca and I have collaborated on. Rebecca is just so darn talented, and these sketch notes are a hallmark of my work, bringing the ideas of inquiry, the underpinnings of inquiry to life through the power of imagery. And I'm going to share 4 with you now, and each of these represents a chapter in the book and represents some pretty big ideas in the book. This is the first one, the student-centered assessment beliefs sketch note. And this is one of the opening chapters in the book where I invite teachers to reflect on these student-centered assessment beliefs, and consider whether or not they feel in their practice, in their assessment practice, there is alignment to these beliefs. I unpack each of these beliefs, and they set the stage for our future work throughout the book, our future reflections throughout the book, and really kind of asking teachers to reflect on their landscape of assessment, and where there's alignment right away, where is there more student voice, more student understanding, more student engagement, and more student sense of belonging in the assessment realm of our practice. So very excited for this one. And yeah, isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, so that's one of the first chapters of the book, which sets the stage for the second sketch note that I'd like to reveal today, and that's the 10 steps to nurture more student-centered assessment. And this is an assessment continuum, isn't it? Starting out kind of on the lower steps of this assessment continuum, where we begin to empower our students with some very, important inquiry underpinnings and behaviors and values, such as co-designing. And how do we begin co-designing with students in our assessment practice so that we can begin to build not just the confidence and not just a sense of belonging, but also that really clear sense of understanding around assessment, so that slowly as we move up this continuum, students can take on more agency in the assessment realm of the inquiry classroom. These 10 steps of this continuum are 10 different chapters. This is the scaffolding towards creating more agency and ownership for our students in the assessment realm of the inquiry classroom. So not only am I revealing a sketch note, I'm also revealing a little bit of the table of contents with this sketch, because this is one of the earlier chapters where this sketch note is unpacked, it's discussed, it's proposed, and then subsequent chapters take you, the reader, up this continuum. And as we go, as we scaffold, we are scaffolding towards more student agency. So that is just a beautiful one. Very excited to unpack each of those across the book with you. And I absolutely love this one, the student assessment compass. And I do propose in one chapter that is our role in the classroom, is to coach and model and scaffold towards an assessment experience where our students' assessment compass is slowly being sharpened. It's slowly becoming more concise and more accurate. And we're looking for certain things as we coach and model assessment in the inquiry classroom with our students. We're looking to ensure that there is accuracy, there is clarity, there's a sense of fulfillment, and there's a sense of authenticity in the assessment experience. And so, again, we unpack this one. This is part of a chapter for sure, and very gorgeous. As you can see, all of these sketch notes could easily be printed off and posted in your classroom to have your students understand the landscape of the scaffolding of which the book proposes, and of course the implementation of these ideas and of this conceptual framework proposes. And then the final sketch note, and this is just so playful and so fun, is guiding questions for inquiry teachers. And here are just a handful. Here are just 8. And I do believe, guiding questions are the secret sauce to the inquiry classroom. It's the secret ingredient that as we are more reflective and mindful and intentional with the questions that we could ask and the questions that we use with students, we're slowly coaching and modeling that agency over time. And so, in fact, in this book, there are over 200 guiding questions that I share with you. And one really neat resource that we've created as a supplementary free resource to the book is I've scraped all those guiding questions out of the book, and I've put them in one resource for you. It's a downloadable that will be on my website of all 200 plus guiding questions, and they're all categorized. Guiding questions for teachers, guiding questions for students to reflect on their learning, guiding questions for students to understand their strengths and their stretches. All of these guiding questions are categorized, and that's a free downloadable. So not only are you getting the book, reading the book, but then you have several assets, several downloadables that will be free on my website as supplementary resources to the book. So there are 4 sketch notes. Again, this is the reveal of these sketch notes. No one's seen them yet other than Rebecca and I, and they will be revealed more on social media in the coming month, but you, my newsletter friends, are the ones to see these items first. As we come back to the main space here, I just wanted to kind of revisit a notion that I shared at the beginning of this newsletter. And that is, over the next month, I'm definitely going to ramp up more talking about this book outside the newsletter as well as within the newsletter. And that is because you all have been such a special part of this process. It's time for me to start letting other people in on the conversation a bit and get them excited about the reveal of this book. And one thing I'm going to ask of you all is if you'd like to be involved in some of that reveal, some of that excitement and that energy. And so, what I have planned, what I'm kind of thinking in my head is creating a shared space, a shared Google folder that could be full of a whole bunch of graphics and the sketch notes and maybe even some videos of me talking about the book. And maybe I give you all access to that folder to take things out and use them in your practice, and more importantly, take them out and share them with your colleagues that aren't on this newsletter. Maybe you share them on Twitter, maybe you share them on Instagram, maybe you just attach them to an email and send them out to friends that you work with or colleagues that you have outside of your school. So this is something I'm thinking about, is how to build this excitement, build this anticipation, invite you in to be a part of this reveal, this launch a little bit more intimately, if you will. And so I suppose I ask you now, if that's something that you're interested in, just send me a reply saying, yeah, Trevor, I'd like access to that folder. I'd like to see what's in there. And I'd like to tweet some things out, or Instagram share some of what you propose and some of what you want to reveal to the broader community. Again, this book will be released sometime at the beginning of May. I don't know a specific date yet. Amazon holds the keys, so to speak. So when they put it up, once we give it to them, we don't know the precise day. It could be within a day or it could be within a couple weeks. So as soon as I know more, I will definitely let you all know. And then one final gift is I'm attaching to this newsletter that the PDF of the introduction, the read aloud, the last newsletter. Thank you so much for your kind responses. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it? And a few requests for, can I see a digital copy of the introduction? And so I've done that. I've kind of cropped down the manuscript, so it's just the introduction. So a little bit more of a gift to you, the PDF version of the introduction for you to have a look at and read. Thank you for kind of engaging me in that read aloud. That was so much fun. So again, in closing, wherever you are, I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're safe. And thank you so much for being engaged with me throughout this process of releasing Inquiry Mindset Assessment Edition, forward by Ron Richart. We'll talk soon, friends. Take care. Bye.